They say they need space, but they still watch your stories. They don't talk about their feelings, but they react the moment you start pulling away. That contradiction isn't indifference, it's fear. If you're here, it's because you feel it too. Something unfinished, something unspoken, something that doesn't match the distance they show. They act independent. They avoid deep conversations. They shut down when things get too close. And yet, they don't let you fully go. You've probably asked yourself 100 times, if they love me, why don't they show it? Why are they warm one day and cold the next? Why do they come back the moment I start detaching? Here's the truth. Most people misunderstand. Avoidant people don't love less. They fear love more. For them, caring deeply feels like losing control. Attachment feels dangerous. Showing emotion feels exposing. So instead of expressing love clearly, they hide it behind silence, logic, and distance. But love still leaves patterns, even when it's scared. Today, I'm going to show you 5 real signs an avoidant person still loves you but is too afraid to show it. Not fantasy, not false hope, just emotional truths you can recognize. And by the end, you'll know whether you're holding on to illusions or reading the signs correctly. Because sometimes the loudest love is the one that struggles to speak. Sign 1. They don't express it, but they never fully let you go. An avoidant who doesn't love you disappears. An avoidant who still loves you creates distance, but never detaches completely. They may say they need space. They may go quiet when emotions get intense. They may avoid deep conversations, but somehow they remain connected. A random text about something you mentioned weeks ago. A quiet, "Did you get home safe?" A late-night reaction to your story. It's never overwhelming, but it's consistent enough. And that consistency matters. Avoidant people protect their energy fiercely. They don't maintain contact with someone they feel nothing for. If they didn't care, cutting you off would be easier. Distance is their comfort zone. Staying loosely connected requires intention. They may not open their heart fully. They may never say, "I miss you," but they don't close the door either. It stays slightly open, because letting you go completely would mean facing loss. And loss forces them to feel what they've been trying to control. So instead of confessing love, they hover. Not to confuse you, but because part of them still hopes you'll stay without asking for more than they feel safe giving. That's not indifference. That's love struggling with fear. Sign 2. They pull away when it gets deep, but react when they feel you slipping. Avoidant people can handle surface connection, jokes, plans, light conversations. But when emotions deepen, they retreat. When you open up, ask where things are going, express how much they matter. They suddenly need space. They become quiet, distant, overwhelmed, and it hurts because it feels like rejection. But watch what happens when you pull away. When you stop texting first, when your energy shifts, when you begin detaching, that's when they react. They check in more. They ask what's wrong. They seem more present. Avoidant people fear emotional engulfment, but they also fear abandonment. So they move in a push-pull rhythm. They pull away when closeness feels too vulnerable. They lean in when distance feels too permanent. If they didn't care, your silence wouldn't affect them. But it does, because beneath the withdrawal, there is attachment. They aren't running from you. They're running from how deeply they feel. Sign 3. Their emotions leak out in unplanned moments. Avoidant people are careful with vulnerability. They measure emotional exposure, but they can't control unplanned emotion. Notice the moments they didn't prepare for, when you laugh with someone else and they go quiet, when you mention going out and they ask who you're going with, when you talk about needing space and their voice subtly changes. These reactions aren't logical, they're emotional. An avoidant who doesn't care remains detached, but one who still loves you shows small cracks. A longer hug, a lingering look, A softer tone when you're hurting. Late at night, when their guard drops, they may say something honest, then brush it off the next day. Fear can silence words, but it cannot fully suppress emotion. If their heart didn't care, it wouldn't slip, but it does. That's love trying to breathe through fear. Sign 4. They show love through actions instead of emotional words. An avoidant may struggle to say, "I love you," but watch what they do. They avoid deep talks. They freeze noting feelings. Yet when you're overwhelmed, they're there. When something breaks, they show up. When you're stressed, they check in. It isn't dramatic. It isn't poetic. But it is consistent. Avoidant people often express love through usefulness rather than vulnerability. Fixing something feels safer than exposing their heart. Solving a problem feels safer than admitting attachment. So instead of saying, "I'm scared of losing you," they make sure you're okay. They remember the coffee you like, the date of your meeting, the things that trigger your anxiety. They don't invest effort like that into someone they don't care about. For them, effort is intimacy. Presence is vulnerability. That's love, spoken in the language they feel safe using. Sign 5. They panic when they realize you might truly leave. Avoidant people can handle controlled distance. They can tolerate emotional space, but when they feel you are truly done, something shifts. When you stop arguing, stop asking for reassurance, become calm and final. Fear replaces avoidance. They reach out, ask questions they once avoided. Try to clarify what they dismissed before, not because they enjoy the chase, but because now it's real. They fear vulnerability, but they fear abandonment more. If they didn't love you, they would let you leave with relief. If they panic, that isn't ego, that's attachment. That's love they were too afraid to show. But here's the truth. Just because an avoidant still loves you doesn't mean they're ready to love you in a healthy way. Love and emotional availability are not the same thing. You can understand their fear. You can recognize the signs, but you still deserve clarity, consistency, and emotional safety. Understanding their attachment style explains behavior. It does not excuse repeated emotional harm. So the real question isn't only, do they still love me? It's, is this love meeting my needs? Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is recognize the pattern and then choose what you truly deserve. Sometimes love isn't absent. It's afraid. But your life cannot be built on potential. You deserve clarity. You deserve consistency. You deserve a love that doesn't leave you guessing. If this message helped you see the pattern, comment, "I see it." And remember, understanding the signs is powerful, but choosing yourself is freedom. If you're ready to choose peace, comment, "I choose myself." Like this video if you're done questioning your sensitivity. Subscribe if you want reminders that love should feel safe, steady, and whole, not something you recover from. You're not late, you're right on time.